Women in wrestling.
We did not evolve.
We have always been here.
In the shadows.
Waiting, ready, motivated.
And now Ring of Honor places its spotlight on women.
And as we stretch our arms to make space, we inspire.
As we put our babies to bed,
we create fairy tales.
And as we lace up our boots and wear our stilettos,
we chase dreams of gold.
We are strong.
We are athletes.
We are passionate.
We are they.
This is Ring of Honor.
And this is women's wrestling.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Beyond the Bells, where we highlight all the action from the Ring of Honor Women's Division and more, right here on Women's Division Wednesday. I am your host, Alyssa Marino, joined by First Lady of Professional Wrestling and unofficially voted Best Board of Directors member for 2021, Maria Kanellis-Bennett, and an expert analyst, multi-time champion, professional badass, LuFisto. How are you doing, and how were your holidays?
Quiet. Quiet.
My holidays. So I thought they were going to be quiet, but then like everyone got tested. And so the people that were negative all got together. So I got my kids a bounce house for Christmas, and oh my gosh, they were psychos in it. It was just so funny. I should say, I guess Santa got them a bounce house, but yeah, it was a pretty amazing gift. But I have to say, nap times hit a little harder after you've been bouncing in the bounce house. It's like they just go straight down and just night. That's it. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see the family that I could see, the family that, was able to be at my house. Like, so we had to move it from one house to another. So like my poor parents are like trudging along with like a prime rib and like all this stuff to my house. And, but luckily we were able to be together. So, that part was really nice. I'm blessed in that sense.
That's fantastic. You do what you got to do for the holidays. And I do see Slash, our friend, got a little haircut for the holidays. Yes. So this is,
yes,
Slash is looking very, very festive as well. And, I got to say, the treats just keep on coming for these holidays, because we are getting started today with a Women's Division Wednesday exclusive match featuring Kip Demon Janai Kai versus the hot mess Chelsea Green. Enjoy.
Welcome, everyone, to Women's Division Wednesday right here on Ring of Honor's YouTube platform. Ian Riccaboni, Caprice Coleman, and we're joined by Miranda Alizé for this huge one-on-one encounter. And this is an athlete, Caprice, that we've been looking forward to seeing here in Ring of Honor.
This is a Women's Division Wednesday exclusive match set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring, wrestling out of Washington, D.C., Janai Kai!
Janai Kai, a black belt in Taekwondo, a kickboxer, knows Muay Thai. Her game plan is very clear, Miranda. She will come in and she will try and strike.
Okay, why are you telling me that? Well, first off, y'all couldn't get a bigger table for me? Y'all knew I was going to be here.
How big of a table do you need? This is plenty. Wow.
I'm way too close to y'all.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you being here. You are one of the top contenders in Ring of Honor Women's Division. But this star has gotten a little bit under your skin lately. And you two have been trading some verbal barbs as of late.
She hasn't got under my skin. I just don't like her.
Okay. So there's levels to this game. What's not to like about this vivacious, vibrant, hot mess? Let's take it to Bobby Cruz.
Her opponent, just out of Victoria, British Columbia, Chelsea Green.
And there you see Chelsea Green It's Ian Caprice and Miranda. Chelsea Green, not someone on your Christmas list this year, huh?
No, I don't like her. I've never liked her.
What is not to like? Chelsea Green, the hot mess. Caprice, we've talked about her bona fides time and time again.
Well, to be the hot mess, she's proven she can do everything she wants to do, from commentary to managing to wrestling and wrestling well. A definite star here.
This is gonna last forever.
And the NWA, anywhere she goes, Impact, you name it. I mean, she's the kind of athlete, the caliber of athlete that they make special arrangements so that she can appear.
She does that
in every organization she wants to wrestle in.
She said, "I'll be there, but I ain't signing a thing."
A great opportunity for Janai Kai here. You got to watch out for the kicks, as you would expect for somebody with the background of Janai. And this presents an opening. What? You have to be impartial at here, Miranda. You gotta
these kicks here.
I don't gotta do anything.
How would you game plan for Janai, Miranda?
Speed and quickness. She looks pretty fast though.
Yeah.
Looks like some quick
So you
kicks.
go speed.
Chelsea looks scared.
I think she's cautious.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at that. Look for the roll up. 2.
A lot of times in wrestling, you have somebody that comes in with a different pedigree, and they try to use it in wrestling. They can use it to their advantage, but wrestling will always prove to be the victor. So you have to just find out how to wrestle these people with the different arts that they bring in.
Well, I think of Tadarius Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very similar background to Janai Kai.
Yep. He had that Muay Thai background, and he was very good at
sweeping the leg from the back. And controlling that wrist. Now looking for a suplex here.
There's no 3 count in Muay Thai.
Oh, look at that. Looking for the inside cradle. 2.
There you go.
And that's the experience of Chelsea Green. Although, you know, you were bragging before the cameras went on, Miranda. You have a victory over Chelsea Green, and you won't let anybody forget about it.
No, I don't only have one victory over her. I've beaten her on the indies also, and I'll do it again.
We see off the ropes Irish whip. If you haven't, 6 woman at final battle. Quite the encounter as well. Chelsea Green. And the Hex. Oh! And looking for the stack. 2!
See the way Chelsea waits for the next thing. There's no rush movement. She's waiting to see where the opening is before she takes it.
Well, that's the veteran presence. I mean, Chelsea Green is a young veteran.
Oh!
Doesn't look like a veteran to me.
And look at this. Janai Kai might be the wild card here.
That was rough.
2!
It's hard to prepare for somebody with that many different type of trainings under you because you don't know which way they're going to come at you. And like Chelsea's going to have to regroup. She's going to have to regroup herself and see where she's going to have to come at her.
I don't like Chelsea, but she does have experience, so we'll see how this match goes.
Irish whip it in the corner. And look at this, the focus on those kicks, that precision.
Yep.
Miranda, how would you handle somebody that, I mean, she just looks at a body part and immediately hits it with the poise of somebody this early in the game as Janai Kai.
I mean, I'm pretty fast, so we'll have to see. Maybe I'll get to wrestle her one day.
Love to see that match. I'd love to see you and Chelsea mix it up one-on-one here in Ring of Honor in the women's division here.
Would you see those ticks coming, or would they just land? You have to see what happens after.
Oh! Grabbing the wrist, bringing it to the center of the ring. Cover here, 1.
Chelsea's in a very peculiar situation where she's almost going to have to wait for Kai to make a mistake before she could do something else to her.
I mean, I feel like Chelsea should be on top right now. They did train together.
And Kai, you're absolutely right. Kai coming up through the ranks, coming up under the umbrella of Chelsea Green. But
Chelsea, watch her take her first bump.
And, you know, the same could be said about some of the wrestlers here. And sometimes the student outpaces the teacher.
Yeah, and that student watches the teacher and says, oh, you're teaching me this, but I see a weakness here. And if I ever had a chance against you, this is what I would do.
Oh, those open palms.
I love her style.
Running kicks, she is phenomenal. Nice snapmare takeover. And Janai, look at that. Oh, Dragon Sleeper with the hands locked. Wow, and into it. Has her dead to rights in the center of the ring, Janai Kai.
Everything Janai does, she just does it so smoothly, just transitions into it so well. You can see even now how she's trying to grapevine the legs as Chelsea gets up to the inside.
And Chelsea's so tall, it takes just a little bit more energy to get up to a vertical base. That worked to Janai's advantage. Chelsea having to force the issue, force herself out. Oh, the double pump kick sent both women down.
Tell you what, if I was Chelsea, I would find a way to work on the legs of Kai. You got to take those legs out from under her. Try to take those legs away from her. Those are lethal weapons.
Miranda, at this point in the match, who do you believe has the advantage?
I don't think Chelsea has the advantage here.
So Janai Kai, those kicks, do you think she's outsmarted Chelsea, or do you think she just caught her off guard?
I think she outsmarted her, and maybe Chelsea was looking down on her. Who knows?
I mean, that's a risk we see.
But also, she's probably just thinking about me the whole time since I'm out here.
Well, not everything is about you,
Yeah,
Miranda.
I think she has a lot on her plate right now.
Oh, open hands. But to your point, to Miranda's point, I mean, if you're competing in NWA, in Impact, with the, looking to make your mark for the new era of Ring of Honor, you could leave yourself an opening for somebody like Kai to come in and catch you off guard.
And sometimes it is overlooking because you're booked for a match and somebody like Kai is booked for an opportunity, and that can make a big play difference.
Off the ropes. Back elbow. And I think that's been one of the stories in the Ring of Honor Women's Division.
Trap. There you go. This could be the opening she needs. It depends on what Chelsea tries to do after this.
Cover. 2. Nice tight grip there by Chelsea on that healing wrist. That wrist hasn't come into play yet, but it was broken earlier in the summer.
She has to
You know what? I don't believe Chelsea's injured. I think she's faking it for clout.
Excuse for clout?
For clout.
Who fakes it?
How many matches has she wrestled with a broken wrist? Please, somebody
okay.
tell me different.
All right.
What kind of clout did you get with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Social media clout?
Well, she was a cover girl. She was recently on the Canadian Muscle and Fitness.
How much trouble do you have to be in for somebody that beautiful to use a headbutt?
Oh, wow!
I've taken that before. It does not feel
2! I'm not even beautiful, and I wouldn't go for the headbutt. You know what I mean?
She's in a lot of trouble here.
Desperation there.
Every time she's thinking, it's taking time away, and Kai has proven to be one that is conditioned well.
And she has stamina. Those kicks were laying in, and she has not missed a beat.
Now, seeing her eyes.
Ripcord.
Yep.
Oh, had it scouted, had it caught.
Yep.
Going back to the Dragon Sleeper. Instead, plants her down.
That's it.
Shades of Shane Helms there. Cover 1. Just a 1 count. Just a 1 count. Drove that elbow down. But that's the difference between when Shane Helms does it and when Janai Kai does it. That point of the elbow didn't go right to the throat like Shane normally does.
Ooh.
But these kicks to the spine, that's better than just about anybody. Oh, God. That'll stiffen the arms. Cover 1, 2.
There's nothing wrong with what Kai is doing. Everything she does, she goes for a pin. She rounds up. She may not go right back to it as fast as I would think she should, but she's sticking to the game plan. Very young, very spry, very good.
I'm digging the mouthpiece also.
The mouth? Okay.
Oh, look at this. These quick kicks, these rapid-fire kicks.
Good gracious. It's like a video game.
Oh, caught. The spinning kick caught.
There you go. Catch that. There you go. That's what she needs. That's what she needs.
And the chaos kicks are stopped. And into the half crab. And that's one way to neutralize those kicks, that tornado kick, the chaos kicks.
Yep, that's what it says. She has to neutralize this person by taking out those powerful legs. She's got to do more than this, but this is definitely a great start.
Look at Chelsea cheating like always.
Cheating?
It's not cheating. It's not cheating. You got a 5 count. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Whatever.
She broke it too. Oh! And she may have broken her nose.
God.
Caught her! Caught her out of nowhere.
Can I help you?
Oh.
I told you she was thinking about me. I told you she was thinking about me.
Man,
Can't get played off.
Miranda, Chelsea
I'd be
pointing to
obsessed with you
Miranda.
too.
And look at this. Looking for it here on Pretty Her. Plants her.
That could be it.
And with the eyes locked and the legs hooked,
Yeah.
it's over. Hey. Impartiality, please.
The winner of this match, Chelsea Green.
And Janai Kai, in an incredible outing here.
Absolutely.
Against one of the very best in the world. But it is Chelsea Green picking up your victory here on Women's Division Wednesday. Miranda, you're out here to watch this woman wrestle. Did you like what you had to see?
No, I don't like Chelsea. I already said that. I've never liked her.
Okay, there's a difference between
And
liking
she can
and
take the cast off. I'm over it. I don't believe it.
Do you respect her as an athlete?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Janai Kai, respect shown there.
Yeah.
Amazing effort from that young woman.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of her.
Today was not
Same.
her day,
I absolutely
but it may be soon. Chelsea Green, your victor. Thanks so much for joining us here on Women's Division Wednesday for Caprice Coleman. For Miranda Alizé.
Look, I told you she's obsessed with me. She cannot keep her eyes off of me.
I'm Ian Riccaboni. Thanks for joining us. Happy wrestling, everybody.
Okay, so Janai Kai, no stranger to Women's Division Wednesday. We did see her in a match against Trish Adora. Chelsea victorious today, but Maria, what was your take on this match?
My take is Janai kicks very hard. Very, very, very hard. That is why she is the Kick Neiman. She lives up to that name for sure, maybe a little past it. And, you know, this match is interesting to me because Janai was already doing this style where she hits very hard. And now Chelsea is starting to dip her toe into this style with the stuff she's been doing over at GCW. I did have to send her a text message and tell her like, hey, you're getting married soon. Maybe no more headshots or like slicing yourself open or, but yeah. So even though like maybe a year ago you wouldn't have said like, oh, this is in Chelsea's wheelhouse. I think this is in Chelsea's wheelhouse now. She's definitely expanding her horizons as far as different wrestling styles. Great matchup, great win for Chelsea. And I think it's just one more thing to put in her arsenal moving forward.
We've definitely seen a little more brutal side of the hot mess herself more recently. So, you know, got to appreciate that, ever evolving.
Yes.
But this match wasn't the only match that we have to discuss today, because over this past weekend on ROH TV, we saw the ROH Women's Championship on the line as Holiday challenged the reigning champ, Roxy. Now, LaFisto, I know that you are no stranger to Holiday. What was your impression of the challenge that she put up against the champ?
I really like that Holiday. The first thing we think about when we think Holiday is being scared and power. She's also a lot taller than most of her opponents. But in this match, she went very technical. Yes, as the match progressed, you see her use her strength as she picks up Roxy like she's absolutely nothing. Picks her up, you know, puts her in front, switch her up like she weighs like 2 pounds, like very easily. But at the beginning, like she was really focusing on a strong headlock to keep the champion down. And I love that we see all these different like sides of Holiday, and she really showcased that she's more than just a power wrestler. She's a very good technical wrestler. She's a very smart wrestler, and she knows how to you know, I always feel she plays mind games with the words, but with the wrestling too, because she's gonna switch from one thing to another.
Things are very versatile on the other side of darkness. You know, there's definitely, as we said, a lot in the wheelhouse. The trash talk, I think, is definitely a huge part of it. But I think, you know, the Prodigy really acknowledged that she may not have the power or even the experience of Holiday, but that no one has heart like her. So Maria, what were your thoughts on the fighting spirit of Roxy in this match?
That's exactly it. Roxy said at the very beginning that she was going to be a fighting champ, and this was a tough one for her. I mean, you're going against experience, you're going against height, you're going against a different style of wrestler. And Roxy was, you know, she was up for the challenge. And I think it says a lot about Roxy moving forward to beat someone like a Holiday that, oh my gosh, she has accolades upon accolades. And so to beat someone like that should give her a lot of confidence if she has to go against Deonna at Impact. So, you know, this for her, maybe looking across the ring was like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing this. But at the same time, when she gets her hand raised at the end, she can take all of that into the next match and on to the next level.
You could definitely see that there was a respect that Holiday showed for Roxy at the end of the match. And, Roxy fights another day and ends this era as ROH Women's Champion. Now, speaking of the end of an era, I want to take it back to Maria at Final Battle and even over the weekend on commentary for television. You took a moment to offer thanks to Bobby Cruz as both a friend and a partner in this women's division adventure. What has that partnership meant over this year with the Women's Division Wednesdays, with the Quest for Gold tournament?
I think I don't think I could have done it without him, but I don't want to say it because I get a big head and come on here and be all jazzed about that. But I couldn't have. I mean, it's just to have someone like that we work so well together, that we have each of our best interests in mind, that we also we fight for things that we personally want, but at the same time, it never affects our work. And I think that's great too. To be challenged on things, but then to come back together and be fighting for one cause. And that's to make the greatest women's division possible, to give women as many opportunities as possible. And Bobby gets it. And he has 2 daughters. And so, raising daughters it's a different kind of experience. And he's a fantastic father. His girls love him so very much. They look up to him. They, he has that father figure at home, but then he brings that to the division as well. And I think it's exactly what we needed in this division. And couldn't have done it without him.
Well, I don't think we'd be here speaking together without you and without Bobby. So I'm very excited at this time to bring on our very special guest, the voice of Ring of Honor and one of the driving forces behind the relaunch of the women's division, Bobby Cruz. Hello, Bobby.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Oh, good.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us on Beyond the Bells. Now, I mean, I'm sure your ears were buzzing because we were, chatting about you a little bit, but over here on Beyond the Bells, we've been talking about it for weeks, but we'd love to hear your perspective on the women's division and its relaunch. What were those initial planning conversations like, and how did this resurgence of the women's division initially kind of come about?
So I'm going to try and get through all of this without actually getting emotional, because it's, I did an interview recently where I talked about my 17 plus years at Ring of Honor, 18 final battles that I was honored to ring announce. And when the news came down of what was going on with Ring of Honor going on hiatus, it's like half of my heart disappeared. And then the other half kind of went with it because of everything that the team and the women's division did this year. And all 3 of you were a big part of it. And it's really bothering me. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm very always honest. It's really bothering me. I'm thinking one of these days, and maybe it'll be the marathon tomorrow. I don't know. I'll just sit in front of my TV all day and just cry my eyes out and remember what was accomplished in 2021. So I had been after Ring of Honor for a bit in 2020, during the height of COVID, really in the summer, and said we really need to get a women's division back going in Ring of Honor. And because every other promotion on television was featuring a women's division and featuring it prominently. So, it was, yes, we're going to do it. And then we got to the late fall and early winter, and I just happened to find out about Maria coming back and Maria being interested in the exact same thing. And we kind of just fell into each other a little bit as far as working together on it. And I had told Ring of Honor in a conversation I had with management before we even got this going, that because of the previous Ring of Honor women's divisions, whether it was fair or not fair, it didn't have the greatest reputation. Enough time wasn't focused on it. They didn't have enough matches on a show or stuff like that. And I said, we can't just hit a home run with this. We need to hit a grand slam. And I know there are people, and there's people that I'm friends with, they are sick of me talking about it. They say I need to be more humble about the success of the Ring of Honor women's division in 2021, but I don't give a flying, you know what. because this women's division and the team together put out something that I don't think I could have ever imagined. I don't know if Maria could have ever hoped for it to be this good, this well received, this much focus on it. If you would have told me that on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, that a women's division match would be the semi-main event, I would have thought that would never happen. But it did. And everything that we were promised that we would have the opportunity to do with this division, it everyone followed through with. No one ever lied to us. We were given creative freedom with our team to do things. And it's just, again, it's hard not to get emotional because you have all these ladies who put in so much work. And they deserve the opportunities, and they took the opportunities, and they ran from one end of the field to the other and scored touchdown after touchdown. It's easy to manage a great team, and I think Maria and I, we definitely had a lot of work in front of us that we did, but it didn't take long to realize what kind of talent we were dealing with.
There was certainly some really impressive talent that we saw over the course of Women's Division Wednesdays, over the course of the tournament. And I know Maria had discussed that the two of you would kind of review tape and study different athletes as potential additions to the women's division when things were first getting started. Did you have any particular favorite promotions or matches that really made an impact for you during that kind of scouting period?
Yeah, I was blown away by Booker T's promotion and their production. One of the first names, the first 4 women that we brought in January were recommended by Jonathan Gresham. He was familiar with them, as well as, of course, his wife Jordan for working with it. And so we brought them in, and Roxy was one. That first thing I saw on YouTube was Reality Wrestling and Booker T's promotion. I was like blown away by the production. It's in HD, multi-camera switch, and the shoots and everything. I'm like, wow, I haven't watched like quote unquote indie wrestling in years, and this is pretty cool. And then of course Beyond Wrestling has been doing great things for years with their product and giving women opportunities and so forth. So it was. I watched more wrestling in 2021 than I probably did in the past 10 years combined, and a lot of that was between say December of 2020. And maybe April or May of 2021 with scouting. And it's tough because, we were doing the COVID TV tapings with Ring of Honor. So Maria and I would only see each other maybe once every couple of months because we would tape stuff in advance. And so we would have to constantly be on the phone and texting and, hey, look at this person or check this out. And it just went so well.
Was there anything particular you were looking for when you started scouting?
So we definitely talked about, we wanted a diverse group. That was very important. And not only did we find a diverse group, especially for the Quest for Gold tournament, we found an amazing diverse group. It wasn't just, we weren't just plugging people in there because they checked the box. We were plugging people in there because they deserved it. And, I was familiar with some of the talent previously, obviously, setting aside the Ring of Honor talent that was already here, such as Sumi or Angelina, Mandy, so forth. But, just seeing the amazing talent that is out there. I was familiar with someone, the name came up recently about Maserati. I was familiar with getting to know her. She would help out in ring crew at our shows in Vegas, and she would do the bell for our pay-per-views and TVs out there and so forth. And then she's one that has been working so hard, especially over the past 2 or 3 years. And, there was some talk early in the thing, is she ready? Is she ready for the tournament? Can she win? And we brought her in March, and she had 2 great matches, one against Angelina Love that I thought was great. And she earned her spot in the tournament there. So seeing stories like that, and we'll see her story more in a few weeks when the Ring of Honor Women's Division documentary airs on Ring of Honor TV the week of January 15th. Early on, Maserati is featured in there, and it's a very heartfelt story she has about the lack of confidence that she's had at times and so forth. And just seeing what the confidence she gained by being asked by Maria, the Ticket to Gold, to be in this tournament, and then actually being in the tournament, and as well as other women's division Wednesday matches she's had, being able to be featured. That's just one small story of really, really good stuff.
That's incredible. And I think it's something where you talked about what kind of got people a foot in the door with the women's division itself, but also for the Quest for Gold tournament. Obviously, the determination that competitors showed throughout some of the Women's Division Wednesday matches that we saw. But what were some of the other factors that went from taking someone from the women's division into the Quest for Gold?
A lot of those were, as Maria, and we discussed at length about, what we needed 15 names and what were going to be the final 15 names. And a lot of it was interaction. So, for example, I can look at a Roxy, or I can look at a Miranda Alizé or Max the Impaler and watch them on YouTube. That's great. But getting them there, for a lot of them, they were legit tryouts for the Quest for Gold tournament. And not only did they make the most of those opportunities in those tryouts, they were so good to work with. If someone would come in and have a negative attitude, or an attitude like everything revolved around them or something like that, they're not going to be there. We're not putting up with that. We were trying to build something so close, like a family, that just wasn't going to happen. So to actually, watch them on YouTube, but then meet up with them, some of them, the first one I met up with, it was in that hotel elevator, and I'm introducing myself and saying, "Oh yeah, well, you're working for Maria and I, and everyone knows who Maria is, but I'm only a ring announcer. Anyone know who I am? I don't know."
Please.
So it's like
only.
So I remember the first time I met Willow was in a hotel elevator, and of course she lit up the elevator. She lights up everything, and I said, hey, by the way, I said, I don't think we told you. I said, we're dropping the last name because she's always gone by Willow Nightingale, and she's like, yeah, whatever you want to do. She asked me recently, by the way, she's like, why do you want to drop that? I'm like, you know what? I don't know. It's just something in my head told me I just like Willow, like Madonna, like Prince. You know what I mean? And I was like, we're just going with Willow. So, but yeah, just interacting with them and their passion for wrestling, their passion for wanting an opportunity. That was a big thing. And part of the reason that the Ring of Honor women's divisions of previous regimes didn't have the greatest reputation was a match would be thrown out here, a match would be thrown out there, or whatever. And someone actually said to me, I don't want to mention them by name because they probably don't want me to, but somebody had told me when they found out Maria and I were going to be, running this new women's division, they said, this women's division is going to be really good because you and Maria will fight for it. And ironically enough, we haven't really had to fight. They gave us the ball and let us do what we wanted and throw what we wanted to. But if we needed to, we would fight. Absolutely. We would fight together. And so it's just, I don't know. I could probably talk for hours, and I'm not going to do that to you. So, but it's just, my head is still spinning about this whole thing. It really is, especially because in the very beginning of this, I wanted to be the Invisible Man. I wanted nothing to do with any recognition with working on it. And then, of course, the documentary I mentioned before that's coming out on TV soon, I was told by one of the people working on the documentary, said, yeah, well, Maria already outed you that you're involved in this. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. So, but my thing was, long story short, I'm a ring announcer. Doesn't matter how long I've been in Ring of Honor. If you attach my name to the women's division, does it help the division at all? No. It doesn't matter who's pulling the strings. It doesn't matter who's writing this or writing that. And it certainly mattered with Maria because of the respect she has earned in this business, the respect she has, and her presence in front of the camera. It just happened to be that it was a perfect storm that she was legit involved in running the division. So it just worked out that way. And the only reason I'm willing to talk about it now, as you know, it's my first time on here with you guys, is it has, I guess, come to an end. So I want to sing the praises of it, no matter how much some friends of mine want me to shut up about it and not be so braggadocious. I don't care. It's not about me. It is about the team. And this women's division blew everyone's expectations this year.
One of the biggest themes that we noticed a lot of the time when there were really high-profile women's division matches, people have used the term that competitors delivered. It was, I think, with all the expectations that were on, everyone delivered every single time. Now, we saw some incredible matches over the course of the relaunch of the women's division. Bobby, did you perhaps ever have maybe a match that you didn't get to see happen, or a dream match that you would have fantasy booked and loved to have seen?
I would have loved to seen Max the Impaler versus Lufisto.
Me too.
Serena, get the notepad.
That's definitely one that is on my dream booking sheet. Yeah, there was just things that, obviously, with the rug being pulled out from everybody, not just us that are talking here in the women's division, but everyone that works for Ring of Honor and people behind the scenes and so forth. We didn't know this was going to happen. So it's like you had no preparation to say, okay, we have 4 months left or we have 6 months left. Let's do this and let's do that. We just didn't have that. And so I would have loved to see us be able to feature someone like Sumi, more, as for certainly with that veteran presence. There was nobody better to work with than Sumi. Sumi completely understood that we had a new Ring of Honor women's division, and to change fans' perspective, instead of them just saying this is the same old Ring of Honor women's division we saw before, we needed to bring in and create new stars. And I think we did that with some people. And Sumi was a huge part of getting that accomplished. And so I get emotional again. But I'm so thankful to her and her professionalism and helping us with that, because she's was a huge part of the team. Yeah, I would have loved to see. You know what I really would have loved to see as well is a third match between Trish Adora and Miranda Alizé, because Miranda had the win on Women's Division Wednesday. Then she got the win over Trish in the tournament in the semifinals. I don't know. Something that old third time is a charm thing kind of tells me that Trish, knowing that she was 0-2, because Trish doesn't go 0-2 against many people, against Miranda, I think would have been really, really something special.
Okay, we'll keep that as keep it in the memory banks as a potential, because that would be really magical.
I have no power anymore. Who knows?
Who knows? Anything can happen.
Anything.
Now, I'm not trying to be emotional, I swear, Bobby, but I'm curious for you, just out of this whole adventure, what has been the most rewarding part of your experience with the women's division of Ring of Honor?
The most rewarding part, there's two most rewarding parts. I have a lot of rewarding parts. The most rewarding parts are seeing women that deserve opportunities get the opportunities, take the opportunities, and crush those opportunities. We're not putting them out there in 2.5, 3-minute matches. We're putting them out there, whether it's on Ring of Honor TV, pay-per-view, or Women's Division Wednesday, all of 2021, and giving them time to go out and do what they want to do. So that has been extremely rewarding. The other rewarding part for me, and this will sound corny because she's sitting there, but is being along for the journey alongside Maria and knowing that this is something she's always wanted to do, and being a part of her doing that, I guess, basically, and seeing the journey and seeing how, when people see this documentary, they're going to be blown away, first of all. It's absolutely incredible. The women's stories, but also the way that it's just shot with some behind-the-scenes footage, and it's really, really, really good. And but to see Maria feel fulfilled, I guess, professionally, has meant a lot. And I'll be honest with you, and it started today, or it started this episode, right? Every time we have that bumper, I call it a bumper, but commercial, whatever you call it, women in wrestling, right? And it starts, and we have all the women in wrestling going through, putting our babies to bed. And I get choked up every single time I see that. and especially at the line, and I think Quinn says it, and now Ring of Honor puts its spotlight on women. And I'm like, I've wanted to be part of doing this for so long, and we finally did it. That's really fulfilling.
We are really grateful for that perfect storm that has led to all of this. So, Bobby, with things in the future seemingly, a little unclear at this time, one thing is for sure, and that is that pro wrestling continues to thrive. It continues to evolve. So, what are your hopes for the next frontiers for women in wrestling?
Continued opportunities that are deserved to be given, not we spotted her scouting on YouTube, or we saw her in Ring of Honor and she did really, really well, and we're going to put her out there for 3 minutes to lose to one of our talents. I don't want that. What is that accomplishing? When I was a kid, WWF had 2 3-minute squash matches. We're not there anymore in wrestling. People don't want to see that. They want to see competitiveness. They want to see people rise. The cream rises, as they say. They want to see people given the opportunities and the opportunities to rise to a certain level. So I just hope somewhere, anywhere, that continues, especially for women in wrestling. And there's so many stories. I mean, Holiday just popped in my head. We just saw her, right, against Roxy this weekend on Ring of Honor TV. You talked about earlier, getting a Ring of Honor world title shot. Not to get too much behind the scenes as far as like Holiday, because she's scary. But, when we brought Holiday in for the tournament, and she saw me in the hotel, she's like, Bobby, I'll wrestle 20 matches for you guys tomorrow. She was so excited just to be there and give an opportunity, and she was on the podcast recently with Kevin Eck for the ROH Strong podcast. And I listened to it, and I've been more emotional in the past 2 months that I don't even know what's going on. Maybe it's the change. Can guys go through the change? I don't know what's going on.
It's because you care. It's because you legit care about all the women that are there. And although you don't want to take credit, when you are a wrestler, you feel those things. You feel when the people above you want you to do well. Therefore, you want to do well for the fans. You want to do well for yourself, but you also want to prove yourself to whoever's up there believes in you, because you know that they could open doors for you and they give you confidence. And it's something that's so important as a wrestler to have, because when you don't, you just go out there and you're like, how did I do? A lot of wrestlers are very insecure, me included. And when you have that person to go to, and the fact that you are a father of 2 beautiful daughters, Maria, she's a woman in charge. I think there was Ring of Honor was a safe place for women, and they really felt appreciated and taken seriously. Matches were longer. Everybody was hitting harder. You could see the passion through the wrestling, not just the talking or what they would write on their social media. So, I think to answer your question, when the people up there care, they really care about their talent and the product they want to showcase, and they want to put women wrestling up front, not for publicity or because that's what everyone does, but it's because it's something you believe in your heart. You will see a difference, and I think that's what you guys did.
Yeah, and the Holiday comment on the podcast got to me. As I said, I got emotional just listening to it, because she doesn't let people in to see the other side of the darkness, that often. But I mean, she literally was talking about how happy she was in this women's division, and she referred to Maria and I as a dream team. And I was like, man, I don't look at it like that. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to play a part, and anonymously for the most part, and do my thing and help out. But I was like, wow, that's someone who's been all around the world, and it's really appreciated, and it's another one actually was the day after Death Before Dishonor, the day after that, what everyone called the match of the night between Roxy and Miranda in the tournament final. And Deanna texted me, and she said, I'm so happy to see what you guys are doing with the women's division. It's what so many of us fought for previously. She's like, I'm just so proud to watch this. And it's like, okay, that's someone in another company that is, saying these things. So, it's tough. It's really tough to let go, but maybe I don't have to let go totally.
I think that's the key.
There was a lot of that along the way of women in different companies, saying really, really kind things. And I think that just helped push things along even more. You want to know, you think you're on the right path, but then when you hear it from outsiders, you're like, okay, we're doing this. It's happening. And that Miranda and Roxy match, for me, like that sealed it of, okay, all right, this is good. Like I'll always look fondly upon that match.
And just to touch on one thing, it refers to that match being the semi-main event. I would have never thought in my 18 years of Ring of Honor that would have happened. It's awesome. I'm glad that the women's division gained the respect it did in 2021 to have that. But it goes back to, and Maria knows this because we were on all these calls, everything that we were promised that we would get with the women's division from Ring of Honor management, we got for the division. I tell the story of, I think it was in May when we found out that we would have the two shows in Philly in August, Glory by Honor. And I went to someone in management. I said, hey, there's 2 matches. Can we have 2 matches each night? One each night on the live stream, one pre-show that we can tape for Women's Division Wednesday, because we obviously always need Women's Division Wednesday good content. And right on the spot, this person said, absolutely. And as it got closer, I'm not going to lie, I was like, we're going to get a match cut. We're going to get a match cut. And we never got a match cut. We had 2 matches each night. So everything that we were told we could have, we asked for a Ring of Honor women's division match basically every other week on TV. That's never happened in Ring of Honor. We basically had a Ring of Honor women's division match every other week on TV. So the support from management, social media, Dave Hodgson, who puts all this stuff together, Jesus, unbelievable, as well as Zane. If people don't know the name Zane Decker, they should know it, especially after the women's division documentary airs, because just amazing stuff. And, of course, you guys doing this, I watch every single week. Whatever, I feel like a genius because I picked Alyssa. I wanted Alyssa, but Maria hates when I say genius. No, seriously, but it's been so good. It's just been, and like I said, we've never been lied to. We have been told that we could do what we wanted. And I think the office, as 2021 progressed, trusted us. And there was a call we had with talent. It was one of these COVID kind of protocol town halls that we have leading up to going to Baltimore or wherever we were going that week for TV and the different COVID protocols we would have. And someone had said, hey, can we do this on social media? Can we do that? And someone from the senior management spoke up and said, listen, if you have an idea, then run it by us. And they actually used this person. I never would have thought this person would have done this. Used the example and said, look at the women's division. We let Maria and Bobby run with the ball, and they basically made magic. And I was like, wow. Like, I was blown away. My older daughter, Sarah, was sitting next to me during this call. She overheard it. I'm like, wow. And, of course, it's not us. It's the team. But just the fact that it was recognized by management was really cool.
Well, this team has certainly been a dream team. However much you want to, shun the moniker, you guys have been a dream team. And thank you for sharing this magic with us. We want to thank you for helping to develop this platform with Women's Division Wednesday and with Beyond the Bells, connecting all of us and giving us this space to really highlight the incredible talent that we've seen throughout the quest for gold and further on. So while it's the end of an era, I know it's not the total end of the road, and I hope that our paths will cross again all very, very soon.
Wink, wink. And I feel like I dominated this conversation. Is that because I'm the guest? Like,
yes. It's about yes, you're a special guest.
Maria just sitting there. So, okay.
No, Bobby, you haven't been on before, and people should know who you are, and they should know your story and how much you cared about this division and how much you worked for it and all the things that you remembered that I forgot. it's important. It's important to have somebody that has your back, and you had mine, and I hope I had yours to the best of my ability because you deserve it, and I appreciate you so very much. Maybe we might not like the moniker of a dream team, but you were a dream to me. So thank you.
Oh my gosh. Hey, and Alyssa and Luffy, if the people watching this on this Wednesday night have not gotten sick of hearing me, especially, but both of us can listen to us next Monday too on the ROH Strong podcast, because we'll be a guest of Kevin Eck on the ROH Strong podcast talking about the women's division for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Perfect.
Great.
So you can get even more of your fill. Since we talked your ear off here, we'll preserve you a little bit more for the ROH Strong podcast.
And the best part about that on the ROH Strong podcast is people don't have to look at me. They like this. They can just listen.
Well, we're glad that we got to look and listen to you, Bobby. Thank you so much for joining us on Beyond the Bells.
Thank you. Thank you. Maria, what do we always say?
Thank you.
Exactly. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby. Oh, man. What a delight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that the way that both of your passion comes through for everything you've done for the division comes from a really, I think, selfless place. And I think that that's why it's so appreciated. It's just, you really did it for the love of the division and wanting to see these competitors thrive through everything. So thank you so much.
I think, it's hard because, on one hand, I'm so incredibly excited about everything that we were able to do. But on the other side, I'm sad because there was so much more to do. And I mean, we had things written out for at least 6 months. In my head, we had them for probably a year and a half if I started combining all the ideas that we had. And so to think about where we could have gone, that makes it tough. And that part's sad. But it's not over because there's still wrestling. And no matter where these women end up, they're going to shine. I watched them all grow. I feel like I had like all these babies at the beginning of the year, and they all grew into these wonderful, beautiful creatures that are going to be incredibly successful. And we also had the foundation of so many veterans that were so willing to give and to be a part of this, from Mandy to Angelina to Quinn, who had basically carried the entire show on her back for a year in 2020. And Sumi and Vita, who didn't have enough matches on television. We were going to get there, but she was so unique, and she's going to continue to rock it on the indies. And Mandy, just an incredible human being, and just so smart when it comes to what Ring of Honor is and what it could be. And Angelina, who, after winning that many championships, after spending that many years in wrestling, she could have said, I'm good. I don't need to go out there and show you something new. But I saw something different from her this year. And something different that I thought was incredible in her match with Max and in her match with Roxy, especially. And her match with Maserati is what got Maserati into the tournament. I mean, she was so giving and such a fantastic supporter of all of the new women that came in. So, I mean, I just feel like it was a great team already. They just didn't have enough people. And so, like, you add in more humans, and then, it just became this great group of girls. So wherever they go, whatever they do, they're going to be amazing.
We certainly did see some incredible stars on the rise throughout the quest for gold. A fair share of new faces, but you did discuss some of the veterans that we had as part of the quest for gold. So we got to take a look at the legendary Sumi Sakai. This nice little video that will feature right here.
She is the Women of Honor champion.
Oh, wait a minute. Sumi
Sakai!
To the top, ha! See you later! Since 2002, Sumi Sakai, a staple of women's wrestling in Ring of Honor.
Catches her. Smash Mouth!
You might as well be walking on the sun.
Smash Mouse.
Top rope Frankensteiner.
Beautiful.
No high cross body. Sumi has Veda at her mercy. Just playing with her.
Doesn't like that. Sumi Sakai. Oh, big move from Tyler.
Sumi up top now. Sit up with the drop kick.
Wow. She takes it off her feet.
Sure does. Smash Mouse.
Tornado top rope drop kick. There it is. Got it.
Arlena Scott, she calls that the Flexion Spread. Doesn't get paid by the hour. She loves to fly. And they all fall down.
It's the Women of Honor champion, Sumi Sakai.
So from someone that debuted in 97 in her teens to having her first match in the US in 02, appearing in the first ever women's division or women's match in Ring of Honor history. This is an inaugural Women of Honor champion and someone that I think we can sing the praises of and celebrate all day long. Now, I know recently on social media, Sumi did share that 2022 will be the perfect year for retirement. She said that she has a dream retirement match and a bucket list for before she retires. And I'm just very curious if any of you would have a dream match that you would love to see Sumi Sakai versus anyone. I mean, maybe any little fantasy booking matches.
I've been tweeting, writing everything. It's like, Sumi, I want to fight you. There's even a fan who did an awesome image of me versus her Ring of Honor with all her stats. I'm like, oh my god, I wish they were true. It was she's been on my bucket list forever, and we've known she started the same year as I did, 97. We were on the same shows, but we never were in the same ring. We were supposed to fight. Yeah, never. We never had a match. We were supposed to fight in 2013, and I broke my knee the day before. So it's a match that never happened. So we keep saying I want to fight you. I want to fight you. I want to fight you, back and forth. And yeah, I just hope it happens before she decides to hang up the boots, because not only is she an amazing performer, she's an amazing human being, loving, giving, funny. Every time it's somebody's birthday, you're going to see a message from Sumi. I forget my own birthday, but she remembers everybody's birthday. She will take the time to write, even my cat's birthday and little details like that. She is such a beautiful human being. So, and she deserves all the world and the recognition in the world.
Yeah, so Sumi is just such a kind soul. And she could be someone that would hang up her boots and not fight till the last bit, but she always goes out there and puts on a hell of a match. She's always out there giving 120%. I hope that if Luffy, you are in the ring with her, I would like to be in the building. So I think it would be an incredible match. And what a cool story, starting the same year and the paths that you've went on. Yeah, what a cool match.
That's a match I think that the world needs. So we're manifesting it. We're writing it in the notepad.
It's in the universe.
We want to see it. But yes, of course, we want to celebrate all of the competitors that we saw in the Quest for Gold, and we want to shine that little special light on Sumi Sakai. Now, usually, we like to end Beyond the Bells with some headlines from the news, and this episode, of course, will be no different. However, with a special little Quest for Gold twist, thought it would be nice to catch everyone up on the competitors from the Women's Championship tournament and see kind of what they're up to next. So, next month, Maserati will be making her Mission Pro Wrestling debut at Crazy Train on January 29th in Conroe, Texas. Then after a hard-fought challenge for the ROH Women's Championship over the weekend, Mission Pro champion Holiday is also slated to be in attendance at MPW's Crazy Train. Coming off of their final battle victory, the Allure stay hard at work because Angelina Love has been working with Velvet Sky on the Beautiful podcast, which is available at patreon.com/thebeautifulpeople. And you can keep up with Mandy Leon's vlogs on YouTube, plus more over at mandyleonxo.com. After their victory over Delmi Exo last Women's Division Wednesday, Max the Impaler is scheduled to attend the LVAC Holiday Hangout on Saturday, January 1st to ring in the new year. After showing her skills as in the corner of the non-binary nightmare, Amy Rose was voted Unofficial Manager of the Year in the unofficial 2021 Year-End Awards in X-Files on the ROH website. As discussed, Sumi Sakai has shared that 22 will be the year for retirement and that she has some dream matches ahead to round out a stellar career. Hopefully, a couple of Lufisto one might be on there. Our fearless broadcaster / badass wrestler Quinn McKay has been making her mark on the independent scene. She'll be in action at MCW's Last Call in Maryland on December 30th, challenging Ray Lynn for the MCW Women's Championship. Miranda Alizé announced that she has joined the Capital Championship Wrestling family, and the Lucha Baddie said that she, and I quote, looks forward to running through the entire division just like she did at Ring of Honor. Her words, not mine. The Pink Dream Alex Gracia has been announced as new WoW superhero ahead of the return of WoW Women of Wrestling. Earlier this month, Nicole Savoy was featured in tag team competition against Dark Sheik and Trish Adora, teaming up with Janai Kai as Team Plex Kick or Kick Plex. I don't know if they've decided yet, but I hope that we see this team in action get together again. Bouncing back from Final Battle, Marty Bell and Allison Kay, the Hex, have been defending their NWA Women's Tag Team Championships and Shine Tag Team Championships across the U.S. You'll be able to see the Afro-Punk Trish Adora as part of Paradigm Pro Wrestling's UWFI Contender Series. Season 4 is premiering on IWTV starting on January 5th. Willow is scheduled to challenge Jordan Grace for the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship on New Year's Eve at Beyond Wrestling's Heavy Lies the Crown, which is streaming live on IWTV. And still reigning ROH Women's Champion Roxy has been announced for MLW's Blood and Thunder on January 21st in Dallas against Miranda Gordy. Plus, will there be this match against the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo looming on the horizon for the Prodigy? These are questions we'll wait to see after Hard to Kill. And so for Maria and Lufisto, what do you have coming up next? Lufisto, I saw your eyes light up about CCW a little bit there. What Miranda has.
Everyone else on the roster too. So Miranda.
Oh.
I don't know when I'll get there, but when I get there.
That's a match I'd also like to see. So
the notepad is happening. And Maria, what do you got going on?
So I have my new exclusive content page, which is a lot of fun. I didn't think I would enjoy it so much, but it is a lot of fun. Just because I get to connect with the fans so easily. You know, there's direct messaging and everything, so I'm able to communicate with the fans really well. I've been doing a lot of fun photo shoots with that. And then I have a lot of independent promotions that I'm going to be working with coming up. So I'm excited about that as well. I'll be at WrestleMania at the, what's it called? WrestleCon. So I'll be there for that as well. But there's a few surprises. I alluded to them last week, but there's definitely some surprises coming. And unfortunately, I can't talk about them right now. But I have to say, like, I think that as much as it hurts to see this Ring of Honor women's division go on hiatus, I think whatever comes out of it is going to be even better. So, you know, they always say that when one door closes, another one opens. And I definitely can feel that for sure.
Doors close, windows are opening. There's so many exciting things that are in the works, including the women's division documentary that will be airing in a few weeks. And of course, stay tuned tomorrow, December 30th, for our women's division marathon. It is the best matches from the year playing all day long right here on YouTube. And I mean, personally, I just can't even tell you what a pleasure it has been to chat with both of you and all of our special guests that we've had on over the past few months. This has been such an awesome experience, and I'm glad that I got to be part of it with the two of you, and like I said, with all our amazing guests that we've had. So for our fantastic producer, Dave Hodgson, for Lufisto, for Maria Kanellis-Bennett, I'm Alyssa Marino, and we want to thank you so much for watching Beyond the Bells. We hope to see you again very soon.